Hear about Officer Jonathan Diller, and even more so because the former president is showing up and highlighting this hero.
That's right. And he is representing all Americans in that moment. He is representing all New Yorkers in that moment and saying thank you and grieving alongside of Jonathan Diller's wife, Stephanie, his one-year-old son, and everyone in that family. And I just want to point out as well that President Trump apparently has called Stephanie, Mrs. Diller, and spoke with her by phone, which is a tremendous gesture and again represents all Americans and all New Yorkers by doing so. And that's what a president does. And that's what a leader does, is serve and represent at the same time. And I'd also like to highlight that Massapequa is an amazing community. They have rallied around law enforcement. It's law enforcement strong there. They are patriotic. There are blue ribbons everywhere. There's a thin blue line painted down the street. And we know that Officer Diller was, as they say, a cop's cop. He was an incredible man. All of these testimonies have been pouring out from neighbors, his brother-in-law, the Police Benevolent Association president that said he was a police officer that loved doing his job. His brother-in-law said he was crazy about his job. He was born to be a cop. He was born to be a hero, and he died being a hero. He died doing what he loved. And apparently the neighbor was saying, like, he was standing on his ladder cleaning the gutters. And so Officer Diller came over and he said he climbed the ladder. He cleaned my gutter so I didn't have to. And he said there's so many stories like that where Officer Diller really was beloved by his community in addition to being so deeply missed. And final point, when officers are shot in the line of duty, it resurrects the grief and the pain of every officer that has been killed in the line of duty. And I want to point out Officer Brian Moore, who was killed in 2015 here at NYPD. His father, the Moore family, has connected with Officer Diller's father, connected with that family, because that community is a sacred and tragic community to be a part of. But that is who is also rallying around the Diller community. And I'll just close by saying that the former mayor of Massapequa came out and said, you know, it breaks my heart that this officer has been killed, and now that this family will not have a father that will come home every day. But he said, this community, we will rally around this family forever.
No doubt. Harris, I do want to pull up this suspected killer's rap sheet. 21 arrests, 9 felonies. He was due in court April 1st. I mean, that's crushing to think about. That's just days from now. Released on $75,000 bail.
Yeah, I mean, he was a professional criminal. That was his line of work, and unfortunately, you know, what we look at now is that, as Lee put it, he's not the only one out there. And it is because of people like Officer Diller that more people don't lose their lives and come in contact with the recidivists, the bloodthirsty recidivists who just can't get off the addiction of committing crimes, and in this case, killing. We talked about the wife, Stephanie. I just want to go back to what you said about one-year-old Ryan. I've tried to say his name a lot today. Because you're right, he won't see this contemporaneously. It may be a while before he's old enough to hop online and Mom will show him what was said about his father on that day. And I hope that if they find our program all those years ahead, that Ryan knows how important a part of history that his father has played. I keep waiting for a tipping point. I've done police specials on this network more than anybody. We talk with cops and about them on this program every day. And I keep waiting for that tipping point where we say enough is enough. No more ambushes, no more disrespectful, dangerous rhetoric against the protectors who protect us. Enough is enough. But that point hasn't come yet. And so I would just say to young Ryan and his mom, Stephanie, that you're a part of history. You're awakening America to know that we need to do something better than what we're doing now to protect the protected.